つの味方するんだよ。
ギベ
てめえ。
血迷ったか。
What's going on, trainers? Dom from the Otaku Room here, and episode 87 of Pokémon Horizons. Wow, what a 10 out of 10 masterful masterpiece of an episode that we just got to witness. I'm going to talk about everything that happened this episode, the crazy and everything else, but here's where I really want to say, and there's a few things I want to say during this review, but one of the things I say for anime in general, okay, and stay with me here, I promise, stay with me. One of the things I say for anime in general is when we are watching an anime, right? When me and you are watching an anime, the thing that we are exchanging to watch an anime is our time, which is the most precious currency that we have as human beings. And the second thing is money, because we're spending money either on our internet connection or our service, right? If you're watching Pokemon on Netflix or wherever else, you're exchanging your time and money to watch a product. And the job that the studio has as they're creating a product of anime is to make sure that they are engaging or funny or serious or masterful or just like basically make sure that they're providing something equal to the exchange. Pokemon Horizons, we're 87 episodes in, almost 2 years into the anime, and it's just living up to exactly the thing I always preach, that anime needs to exchange that. There needs to be that even exchange. And as we get to the end of the story, like I'm on the edge of my seat. We saw Lucius pop off this episode. I'm gonna talk about the different things that happened, but we saw Lucius pop up. You know, he's still alive, and you can feel the end of the arc coming, and you can feel Liko 𝐒𝐻𝐴𝐴 like, 𝐜𝐴T𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 is about to be here. You know, like if you saw the preview for last episode, like we know that 𝐜𝐴T𝐚𝐧𝐴𝐴 is like literally around the corner, and you can feel it in like every single fiber of our being. You can just feel it, like, you know, like let's just check this out together. You can just feel what's about to go down, you know, next episode. Like, check this out. She's like, yeah, rotate. She's like, let's go. 𝐒𝐿𝐴T𝐚𝐧𝐴𝐴 by my side. You can see Liko heading for the charge. Like, she's like, yo, let's go. As we're gonna go fight the earth-quaking white Zygarde, the shining Zygarde. It's just so cool. It's just so, I can't express it. There's just so much love I have for it. It's just like, oh my God, it's like, it's right there. And I think it's just incredible. And, you know, we're getting towards the end of the arc. And let me jump into everything, okay? So the first thing to realize is Lucius, they make it to Rakurium, and Lucius pops out of the Rakurium, or the Rakurium. He pops out of there, and he's basically been in like a hyperbolic time chamber. He's basically been in like this freezed state inside of the Rakurium. And he's been having eyeballs through the world because Zygarde is a extremely intelligent Pokemon, has spread itself across the world, which is why it's in its incomplete dog form. And it has tapped into Lucius and basically been feeding him information over this last 100 years and deciding if Rakurium is going to be invasive and harmful to the world and the world of Pokemon that they live in. And Zygarde has decided that yes, it is. So he's been feeding Lucius this constant flow of information with the explorers and with Pokemon and with his granddaughter or great-granddaughter and with the rising Voltacklers and their mission. And Zygarde put out notice to all of the heroes and Rayquaza, and he's just been feeding him all the information. At the same time, when I'm talking about Zygarde has also kind of betrayed his master Gibeon, because he doesn't see completely eye to eye with his master on this Rakurium stuff. And although Gibeon feels a certain way towards it, you can't fault your Pokemon for having autonomy and being there the whole time for the last 100 years. So first off, let's just stop there. That's just an incredible, masterful piece of writing that they were able to write Lucius in a way of like, okay, he's been sealed in time. He's been sealed in this Rakurium. we know that the Rakurium, we know that the Rakurium basically is able to sustain somebody's longevity and youth, and he probably doesn't need to eat because he's like in a frozen state, just kind of watching the end of his world, or probably not end of his world, but he's basically able to watch the world. The sad stuff about it is he was probably also at the same time able to see his girlfriend and his daughter and his great-granddaughter and now great-great-granddaughter or whatever, and he was not able to be a part of that. And I don't know if they're going to touch on that because it is a touchy subject for Pokemon, but the fact is that he was able to see his lineage and stuff and not be completely out of it. And I absolutely love that. And I love that Liko has this big connection to Lucius. That's great-great-granddaddy over there. I love that. And I love when Pokemon, bring some semblance of the real world into the anime. And it's not often that they do it, right? Ash's dad was just MIA, and you're like, okay, well, how did he exist? How do babies exist? But they have explored it before with Professor Kukui in the Alolan series when Professor Kukui got married, and then they had a baby. So they showed some normalcy there, which I think is really cool when Pokemon does that. And through this timeline, they show the normalcy of the fact that Lucius did not marry his girl, and they they got it on, and that's how Liko lands here today. And I love that they didn't really go deep into it, but it's a kids show, but just they touch on it enough. We're like, okay, I see you, Lucius, go get it, bro. So I love that. Then the rest of it is just Gibeon and Lucius talking about what the best course of action is. Lucius is like, we're gonna shut this down. Rakurium, Rakurium, it's gotta go. It's not good for the ecosystem. It's not good for the world. It's not of this world, kind of like a Ditto or like a Deoxys or something. It's an otherworldly thing, very similar to probably how it's like just other Pokemon that have come before it. And it's not of this world, and it's harmful to everything. So we need to destroy it. So then that leads into, Gibeon's big thing, and then Spinel's moment and the Spinel stuff with the Magnezone, and Gibeon kind of getting swayed a little bit, but he's going like, no, we got to stick to the plan. And they start digging up the Rakurium and everything. And then that leads to a big twist, which we saw coming, but Amateo siding with the Rising Voltacklers and be like, okay, I'm going to save my grandpa the only way I know. And he's going towards evil, and I just do not see eye to eye with that. So he's swapping sides, and Gibeon feels kind of slighted by that, but at the same time, he's got to stand by his ideals. He's like, this is evil. And he looks at his Pokemon, and he's like, I would never want this for my partner Pokemon. Like, in this world, like, your Pokemon is like a part of you. And it's like, why would I want my family? Why would I want my partner Pokemon to go through this pain? That I've obviously been able to see over and over, that we just got to witness right now with Charizard and Pikachu. It's like, why would I want that from my partner Pokemon? Why would you want that? Just to live a little longer? Like, he's just like, he can't understand the selfishness behind Gibeon's actions. And I was like, wow. So anyways, I am just enthralled with the storyline and the episode, and you can really feel like the arc, the arc is ending here, and our official first adventure, the emotional moment when Lucius was like, I love seeing your guys' adventure. I love seeing Roy get on my Monster Ball. I love seeing that he got the Rayquaza. I love seeing that, Liko and everyone, they weren't led by Rayquaza. They decided that they're going to go and bring Terapagos here, and that was the thing that fueled your adventure spirit. And look at you guys, and you guys have grown. And then they show us the slideshow. Terapagos shows the slideshow of everything they've been through. I was like, oh, my heart, my Shayla. I was like, oh my god, it's just so good. It's just so good. And maybe you don't feel the same way, and that's totally okay. Let me know in the comments, what you guys think. But I'm just over the moon about it, and I can't wait for what comes next after this. Especially because we've seen the previews with, the Mega Bracelet and Mega Lucario, and who knows what kind of crazy stuff is going to come next. But, with Floragato on the precipice of evolving into a Meowscarada, and Liko officially having, Terapagos, and then what's going to happen with the rest of Lucius's 6 heroes? What's going to happen with Lucius himself? Is he just going to disappear? Is just going to have to go back to being like a semblance of... He's just going to have to go back to real life? Like, what's going to happen there? He's a real person. He exists. He's not a ghost. He's not a spirit of Rakurium. He's a real person that was just trapped, you know? So it's like, okay, what's going to happen? So many different ways, so many different interesting things that could occur. So I am so excited to find out on what ends up happening. But anyways, I've gone really, really long on this video. I appreciate you being here. Leave me a like before you guys leave. It definitely help out the channel. If you're not subscribed, of course, do that. See you next week, my friends. More Pokemon Horizons.